Well, welcome to Goodwin Park for round 11 of the National Premier League's Queensland, and to what we are expecting to be one of the key clashes of the season so far, as two-time reigning premiers Brisbane Strikers take on Olympic in what we should expect to be a very high-quality derby clash. Brisbane Strikers started the season slowly, 2 defeats and a draw, but they're now hitting their straps in earnest as they push for the three-peat. They've won their last 6, scoring 26 goals in the process. Olympic are unbeaten this season, but have been knocked off top spot by Western Pride after their 6-1 thumping of Brisbane Roar last night at Briggs Road. A win this afternoon will see them go back to the top of the ladder though, and that is exactly where they hope to be come the end of the season. If Olympic do win, it will be their 11th game in succession without defeat, and that will equal a club record. The last time that happened was back in 2013, when of course they did win the championship and premiership. Strikers have got the wood over Olympic in recent encounters. Visitors have won 4 of their last 6 games, including the last 2 games here at Goodwin Park. Whether or not they continue that run is something that we're all eager to find out. One change to the starting lineup for Brisbane Strikers. Jake McLean comes in wearing the number 10 shirt, and an inclusion to the bench as well, a welcome inclusion for Brisbane Strikers fans. Rhys Meredith, of course, came second in the Golden Boot Award in 2016, endured a horror season in 2017 with a knee injury, but he's back, and back to his former club where he spent 17 games over the course of 2 seasons in 2014 and 16. 14 and 15, apologies. He scored 8 goals for Olympic, 2 against the Strikers. He has scored 1 goal against Olympic for the Strikers. Will he add to that today, coming off the bench? One change for Olympic as well, and that's enforced due to suspension. Kieran Sanders sitting this one out after picking up his 5th yellow card of the season in last week's 3-1 win over Brisbane City. James Kuminau comes into the side. He'll start on the bench wearing the number 14 jersey. Shelford Deas will start on the field against his former club. We'll run you quickly through the sides now. Brisbane Strikers will line up as advertised. In goal, Nathan Archbold, and then wearing the number 4 shirt, Brock Messenger. Number 5, Greg Hensley. Number 6, Michael McGowan. Number 7, Michael Lee. Number 8, Michael Angus. Number 10, Jake McLean. Number 13, Sam Knight. Number 17, Hiroki Amori. Number 18, Trent Clulo. And number 24, Zach Maltby. The bench for Brisbane Strikers. Number 3, Jack Stevens. Number 9, Rhys Meredith. Number 14, Ryan Palmer. Number 20, Tomislav Merisic. And number 21, Seb Scaroni. The 2 sides make their way onto the field, led by referee Nathan McDonald and his assistants Ben Orwell and Daniel Olsen. We'll run you through the home side lineup. Nick Mooney in goal, and number 3, Shane Stefanuto. Number 4, Kristen Waters. Number 5, Steve White. Number 6, Matt Mundy. Number 7, Shelford Deas. Number 8, Kazuya Ito. Number 11, Jez Lofthouse. Number 12, Costa Passaros. Number 18, Adam Edgar. And number 20, Zelfi Nazari. Jack Glover, wearing the number 2 shirt, is on the bench, alongside number 9, Danny Byrne, number 14, James Kuminau, number 19, Jean-Philippe Lassam, and number 21, Dakota Sprange. Very strong sides on display here at Goodwin Park. I mentioned Nathan McDonald, sponsored by Total Tools. Discipline could come into this here. Former Strikers player Shane Stefanuto, he picked up the only red card of his career against Brisbane Strikers in 2014. He followed that in Greg Hensley's footsteps after he was dismissed in this fixture in 2015. So don't let them tell you there's no feeling in this. It could be very, very tasty out there as these sides battle for supremacy at the top of the ladder, a top spot that Olympic have relinquished momentarily at least to Western Pride. Western Pride winning 6-1 against the Raw last night at Briggs Road. Brisbane Raw suffering their 4th defeat of the season. Run you quickly through the other results as well while the teams get themselves settled, and mind games already starting here as Strikers move into what Olympic thought were their half. Olympic will go past their visitors. 0-0 draw out in Toowoomba, southwest Queensland and Sunshine Coast. That's the first point since round 2's win over Cairns for Sunshine Coast. Lions picked up a 3-0 win over Cairns. Magpies Crusaders, they won a real thrilling game up there in Mackay, 5-3 against Redlands. Moreton Bay United picked up a win over Gold Coast United by 4-1, and Brisbane City have just concluded their game up in Townsville against North Queensland United, and they ran out 4-0 winners, 4 second half goals there for a Brisbane City side that were comprehensively beaten by Olympic last week. 3-1 the final score, but it was a performance to savour for Olympic. They really were impressive. It led John Cosmina to say that they're the best team in the competition by far that he's seen so far in this season, and anyone watching would understand why. They were very, very impressive. Brisbane Strikers, though, do have the weapons to hurt Olympic, especially the 3-man defence, although speaking to David Large just before the game, he felt that Olympic would probably drop to a back 4 when defending, as they have done on a couple of occasions, including in front of our cameras earlier in the season against Cairns, of course, which Olympic drew 2-2. David Large is assuming that Matt Mundy will drop back into the back 3 of Kristen Waters, Shane Stefanuto and Kazuya Ito. A hugely experienced defensive lineup, whether or not Matt Mundy joins it or not, as Olympic in the red and white stripes get us underway, kicking from right to left. Olympic up against Strikers here at Goodwin Park. Strikers in the yellow shirts with the blue sleeves. And it's Shane Stefanuto just launching that ball down the line towards Zelfi Nazari. The West Australian never got to him, and it'll be a throw-in that'll be taken by Sam Knight in the number 13 shirt for Strikers. He'll go long up towards Maltby, whose pace will worry Stefanuto. 38-year-old legs of the former Socceroo will be tested tonight, you would assume. And that, I feel, is how Strikers could trouble this very dangerous Olympic side, as that ball was aimed towards Costa Pissarros but was cut out very well by another hugely experienced defender in Greg Hensley. And Kazuya, it's Hiroki Amori over on that far side who wins the foul, and then Kazuya Ito wins the ball against Trent Clulo. Plenty of players have played for both sides. That's a little bit naughty. McGowan goes down. It was Edgar who came in, the 20-year-old Englishman from Liverpool. Linking up with Ben Khan after they both were at Central Coast Mariners. The Sunshine Coast, apologies, and Central Coast Mariners. Strikers having the early possession here, and as Lee suffered from a back complaint earlier in this season, but looks to recover from that. Pissarros cuts across the field, and here's a player with pace in Jez Lofthouse. Very dangerous play. He's been performing incredibly well. Showed a little bit too much of that, though, to Sam Knight. Still there for Olympic through Stefanuto. Stefanuto, clever ball inside to Dias. Strikers will try to clear, but are unable to do so, and here is Matt Mundy, who is operating a bit deeper than you perhaps expect. And it is that back 4 that David Large predicted and has planned for all week. This could be a 50-50 ball here. Is it spun away from Shelford Dias? Spent his junior years at Brisbane Strikers and played 9 games for them in 2016 before moving down to Central Coast Mariners. That's a nice ball, and here is Dias. Can't shape to shoot. Edgar goes down. The ball is cleared. Still there for Olympic, the host, pressing forward now. Wide to Ito. Poor touch by Nazari. It's worked out for Olympic though, and Edgar goes down. It's going to fall for Diaz, and then Lofthouse. He's going to have to work hard to keep that in. He does keep it in. Difficult one for the linesman. The spectacular shot at the back post by Pissarros. It's deflected wide for a corner. Strikers players are still appealing that ball had gone out before Jez Lofthouse was able to get to it. As I mentioned, it is a tough one for the linesman. The sun right in his eyes over on that far side as it sets behind us. A beautiful evening here in the southeast corner of Queensland. We're expecting thunderstorms. They haven't materialised. And long may that continue, especially for the duration of this game and its purpose as a spectacle for you at home. If you are watching, let us know where you're watching from. Get involved on the Football Queensland Facebook page, or vote for who you think's going to win on the Football Queensland Instagram story. Stefanuto, crossfield to Pissarros, lovely ball. Pissarros does well. Does well to get that ball past to Mori, but no damage done. Here's Ito. Ito chips it back inside to Dias. Dias, Ito! Good block. Really good block by Hensley, and then tipped over the bar. Excellent attacking play from Olympic. Zelfin Nazari almost grabbing his 4th goal of the season. It fell so kindly for Kazuya Ito. The 31-year-old Japanese man from Osaka just couldn't squeeze that ball past the sizable, imposing figure of Greg Hensley. Since it'll be a long afternoon for him if this continues. Here's Mundy. Stefanuto has a bit of space in front of him. Picks out a cross, just hits Messenger and challenges Messenger for the ball. Does well, Stefanuto. Here's White. Mundy. Back to Stefanuto. Stefanuto cutting back inside. Stefanuto wins for free kick. Advantage was played by Nathan McDonald. And it's good work from the former NSL player for Brisbane Strikers. Played 124 games, scoring just for 1 goal between 2004 and 1998. To change Stefanuto before moving to Norway. And Lillestrøm and Lynn. Came back to Australia with North Queensland Fury and the Brisbane Roar, who he made 134 appearances for. Ball swept in towards the back post. It's a good ball by White. It's still there for Olympic. Here's Nazari. Nazari, tricky. Clulo got a big piece of his shirt, and that was spotted by McDonald, who was ideally placed. Nazari takes it quickly. Pissarros looks to stand up. Clulo puts it inside to Nazari. Nazari still there for Nazari. It just got away from him. Good defending by Messenger. It was comfortably gathered by Nathan Archbold. Good start this. 6 minutes into the game. This is going to be a cracking encounter. Stefanuto with the header, but only as far as Lee. Lee back inside to Maltby. Gets away from the strikers there, and then it's played off Maltby. Excellent work there by Shelford Deas. And Stefanuto takes a throw to centre-back Kristen Waters. Ito. Back inside to White. Lofthouse forced to go back. 67% of you think that Olympic are going to win this game on the Football Queensland Instagram story. Olympic are doing all the running so far. It's poor from Pissarros. Perhaps saw Tranquillo bearing down on him. Still in. There, and is that Edgar who hauls down Hiroki Amori. Long ball up towards Zach Maltby. Never going to win an aerial battle with Kristen Waters. Is young Zach Maltby. At least a head shorter. As you can see the two players just come into contact again. Just Zach Maltby letting him know that he's still going to go for those balls. Lovely crossfield ball now for Sam Knight. Has time and space. No support though until Brock Messenger arrives. Messenger back to Michael Angus. Angus, lovely ball towards Hiroki Amori. It's well headed though by Kazuya Ito, and it's scrambled out. Took a deflection for an Olympic throw-in in front of the strikers' dugout. Might be able to see the rather dapper-looking David Large. Be hoping his side can make something of this promising attack. Maltby just getting a little bit tangled with Kristen Waters, unable to make the run that he wanted to. And you feel that is where the danger will come for Olympic. Very, very quick, these strikers forwards. Stefanuto chips that ball inside well to Nazari, but Nazari can't quite get hold of it, and McGowan, but he coughs it up, and here's an opportunity for Olympic, but Costa Pissarros maybe fast as lightning, but not quite as fast as that pass that went all the way through towards Nathan Archbold. We mentioned the pace of strikers' attack. Olympics is just as potent. It can hurt you in all sorts of places. As Brock Messenger tries to put those words into actions with a bit of roughhousing on Shane Stefanuto, who has a wry smile on his face. Fairly obvious free kick for former New Zealand under-20 international. 22-year-old Messenger is a big man in that holding midfield role, shielding the very experienced defence. It's going to fall here for Lee, is it? No. Well defended by Olympic, and then cut back over to the other side by Stefanuto, but it was picked up by Hiroki Amori. He's dispossessed by Pissarros. Can Olympic break here? You bet they can. Here comes Dias. Dias is going to run. Dias is going to shoot. Greg Hensley was busting a gut to get back there, and he did enough to force the corner. Have to be doing plenty of those runs, Will Hensley. The big Scotsman, as I mentioned in the pre-game, has received a red card in his time in Queensland. It came against Olympic in 2015, so there's a bit of history there. Nazari. It's a training ground move that just didn't pay off at all. Poor Jez Lofthouse, the recipient of a ball on the lower part of the back. Michael Lee does well. McDonald was playing advantage. You may have heard the call from an as yet unknown strikers player. Maltby hit the deck after running into Stefanuto. Didn't look like there was much in it, but I think there will be plenty happening on and off the ball in this game. But keep your eyes peeled. I certainly will for you. Simon Smale bringing you this National Premier League's Queensland clash between two-time reigning premiers Brisbane Strikers and Olympic. Lovely ball in to Michael Lee. Couldn't squeeze across or a shot away. It's well dealt with by the Olympic defence. And now it's going up the other way with Zelfi Nazari. Nazari needs support outside him in Pissarros and gets there. Does Costa Pissarros. Standing up Hiroki Amori. And Amori picks his pocket. Brilliant defence from the Japaneseman. Angus. Angus is felled there, and here's an opportunity for Dias. Dias crosses the ball offside. Was Adam Edgar clearly offside? And Michael Angus was really caught there. The advantage was played, and Adam Edgar did get the ball in the back of the net, but you can hear the calling, I think, from Ben Khan over on the Olympic bench. Shane Stefanuto having his say. Apologies for the language. I'll apologise on behalf of Shane Stefanuto. Lee. Maltby. McLean. Hiroki Amori. Back inside to McLean. Lee. Allowed to chest the ball inside the penalty area. He's under pressure from Jez Lofthouse and forced back. Excellent work from the youngster. That's brilliant from Michael Lee. Knight. Back to Hensley. Good possession retention by the strikers. Knight. Back to Messenger. Dias chasing down hard, but without success. Here's McGowan. McGowan goes wide, back on this inside to Sam Knight. Sam Knight keeps it in. Challenged by Lofthouse. Plenty going on there. 6 of one, half dozen of the other, according to the referee. Messenger to Lee. Back to Knight. Knight has time to pick his spot. He puts it right on top of Mooney, who flaps at it. And it's hacked clear, I think, by Kazuya Ito. Only as far as McGowan. Here comes strikers again. McLean. McLean shows a little bit too much, but it's there for Amori. McLean does well. Amori tried to shape that ball in towards Maltby, wins the corner instead. Good opportunity for the visitors. The big men will come up from the back. Michael McGowan, Greg Hensley. Hensley hasn't scored yet this year. Has managed 6 in his time at strikers. 75 appearances, 76th today. Very dangerous at set pieces. McGowan got clear. It is onto the head of Hensley, and it wasn't all that far away. Mooney had it covered, though. 15 minutes gone here, and it's been a rather breathless start. Olympic and strikers locked at 0-0. Strong challenge through the back of Lofthouse. No foul, though, and it is a strikers throw-in, which will be taken by Sam Knight. Messenger creates some space for himself. Back to Knight. Knight tries to flick that through towards McLean, and McLean gets his lines a little bit muddled with Sam Knight. The ball is comfortably collected by Nick Mooney. He shifts the ball to the far side, and Ito, who has a bit of space, finds Mundy inside him. Dias. Dias, if he can get this ball out to Lofthouse, there could be danger. He does. Excellent work from Shelford Dias. Lofthouse allowed to run into the penalty area. This is where he's dangerous. Good cross from Lofthouse. Can only find Hiroki Amori, and that's cool and as calm as you like by Hiroki Amori. Plays the ball to Michael Angus, who is fouled by Zelfi Nazari. Shane Stefanuto, distinctive voice coming across the sound effects microphone here at Goodwin Park. May remember in our last televised game here at Goodwin Park against Cairns, Shane Stefanuto managed to talk himself into a booking. It's not an uncommon occurrence. Here's Brock Messenger. Clulo. Well, he plays that ball through to Zach Maltby. Nice idea. And again, you just saw how quick Zach Maltby can be. Unable to get on top of it, though, and Mooney will clear. Edgar was well covered by McGowan. And now Hiroki Omori is allowed to spread his legs, stretch his legs even. Nothing like a bit of innuendo on a Sunday afternoon. Back inside to McLean. McLean tried to find the run of Lee. Unable to do so, and Pissarros dangerously clears, but Lofthouse has a lot of space in front of him, and this is what he likes. Should be encouraged to run there. Instead, he finds White, and White wide to Pissarros. Sloppy from Pissarros, that. Adam Edgar never really in contention for that particular ball. Rather would have had it played to him rather than on the run. When you see Jez Lofthouse in that amount of space, you do get a little bit excited. He scored 7 goals in his 10 games for Olympic. Scored 2 in the first game against Magpies Crusaders. Continue after Maltby is dealt with by Kristen Waters for a throw-in over on that far side. Came on in the 52nd minute. Did Lofthouse up there in Mackay against Magpies Crusaders United, and scored 2 goals and has started every game since, adding goals against Western Pride, Lions, and a hat-trick against the Young Roar, including a real belter, which you may have seen on social media, right in the top corner where the Spiders live. A really, really impressive strike. And he has impressed Jez Lofthouse since his move from Sunshine Coast. Here's Michael Lee, squeezed out of it by Costa Pissarros. McGowan tries to pick out Sam Knight, but it's good work from Stefanuto, just about, to keep that ball towards Nick Mooney, who does well to keep it in. Heavy touch from Stefanuto, who's going to have to be alert to the pace of Maltby. He'll appear out of nowhere. Will the young striker. Across the edge of the penalty area to Stefanuto. It's a good tackle by Messenger on Monday, and here are the strikers with McLean. McLean tries to play in Clulo. Clulo with the cross just over the top. Danger there. Olympic can't delay on the ball, or they will be caught out by this very attacking strikers side. See how high strikers line is. 4 or 3 at least on the edge of the penalty areas. Kazuya Ito and Shane Stefanuto go very deep and very wide to receive the ball from Nick Mooney. That's the way Olympic are going to want to play. It is Angus who's fouled by Nazari. It's going to be pulled back. Michael Angus asking why. Nathan McDonald simply replying, well, because I said stop. It's as good a reason as any. Hensley will take the free kick backwards to McGowan. It's a bit of a nothing ball launched forward by the big Scotsman. Late of Arbroath for Montrose and Hawke's Bay United in the ISPS Hander Premiership, which is where Brock Messengers come from. Canterbury United played 18 times for them. The Dragons. Angus plays the ball to Maltby. Maltby's tricky. And Walters is resolute. Stefanuto. As the lights start to take effect here at Goodwin Park. 22 minutes gone. Still goalless. Not been for lack of action. Here's Jez Lofthouse. He'll be looking to change that. Cutting back onside on his right foot. Is he going to shape to shoot? He does. Messenger gets the block in. It goes for a corner. And that's where Jez Lofthouse is so dangerous. The Brisbane strikers afforded him a lot of space on this near side. He cuts back inside like that. Nathan Archbold will be getting a little bit jittery if he sees that too often. Olympic setting up again for this training ground move from the corner. There's a line of Ito and Jez Lofthouse and White. We're going to have a bit of a discussion here. I think McDonald's given a penalty, has he? There's no reaction there. Bit of a discussion between both players, McGowan and Nazari, was it? And it's going to be a drop ball. Remarkable. Well, it didn't seem like it should have been a penalty. There was no reaction really from the players. You heard the voice of Shane Stefanuto. Should offer him a co-commentary gig. He's providing plenty of insight from the field. And Brock Messenger just launches that ball upfield. It's a remarkable turn of events. Incredible drama here at Goodwin Park. None of it in the goal mouth, but Olympic will be arguing that Michael McGowan did pull his opponent to the ground. Michael Angus gets involved there, but it falls for Adam Edgar. Here comes Adam Edgar running into the box. Shelford Dias was waiting, and it took a very, very good block to deny that cross going in. Quite Shane, I'm talking. Sam Knight. Sam Knight was the man who got the block. Once again, this training ground move, 3 men in a line for Olympic. Ito, Lofthouse, White, and then even further field is Stefanuto. It's a header by Adam Edgar, I think, at that near post. Yes, it was. By pulling those 3, sometimes 4 players on this near side, it creates problems for the strikers defensively. It draws those players out, just declutters the penalty area. It's intelligent from Ben Kahn and his coaching team. Nevertheless, we are still at 0-0, and this is a real arm wrestle, but in a good way, a dramatic arm wrestle, with both sides getting their opponent's wrist close to the table. Omori on the volley, and it falls for Messenger, and Messenger sloppily gives that ball away to Matt Mundy, and Costa Passaros will look to build through Kazuya Ito. Nazari, it's nice from Nazari. Dias is chopped really by Brock Messenger. He may be shown his 4th yellow card of the season, and is. It's the first yellow card of the game, and it goes to Brock Messenger. 4 yellow cards in 7 games now for Messenger. I've already mentioned that Kieran Sanders is out for Olympic, serving a suspension after he picked up his 5th booking of the season last week against Brisbane City at Corporate Travel Management Stadium. This time, no training ground moves. The box is cluttered, although Steve White is lurking and has a lot of space. 15 yards outside the box. You sense this is going towards the penalty spot where Waters is going to head it. I think that might have been the idea, or at least the back post for Adam Edgar. He was decidedly overhit. And the chance is wasted. Zelfi Nazari, the guilty party, taking the free kick. As I mentioned, beautiful evening here in Brisbane. The promised storms have not materialised. Those storms that put paid to Mitchelton versus South United in the Football Queensland Premier League on Friday night. That game will be replayed on Tuesday, I guess weather dependent, as Costa Passaros gives away a free kick. There's a little bit of discussion going on. It's taken relatively quickly. Here's Maltby. Mundy has to be quick. Mundy does well. Probably a good job that strikers took that quickly, because there was a little bit of push and shove involving Costa Passaros. Again, you'll get a sense of that over the course of the game. Full of incident, these clashes normally. The overall record, they've played 11 times in the National Premier League's Queensland, Olympic and Strikers. Strikers winning 6 of those games, including 4 of the last 6. Olympic won the first 3, including the 2013 semi-final between the two sides here. Mundy has had his pocket picked there, but he does well. Maltby was offside, but will play on. That's good advantage played by the Total Tools officials. And Stefanuto goes on a little run. Nazari. Dias is screaming for it on this near side. He had lots of space, but could not be found by his teammate. Mundy rises for the header with Maltby. That's a more even matchup. Tell you what, Michael Lee's going to have a go, is he? Against Nick Mooney. He was just inside his attacking half, was Michael Lee, and he's perhaps taking a leaf out of Greg King's book. Greg King, of course, in our live stream was 2 weeks ago, scoring from inside his own half against Michael Lee's strikers. Michael Lee, an interested observer in that game, missing for a back injury. Here's Lofthouse. Dias wants Lofthouse to move. Lofthouse doesn't. Oh, it's an interesting header by Edgar. You'd have to say it would be fortunate if it had gone in, but it was good improvisation from the Englishman. Moved to Australia from Liverpool as a 10-year-old, so he's been in Australia just as long as he has, or as he had been in England. Archbold and Angus combined to launch that ball upfield, but it's only as far as the head of Waters. The side really getting a hold of the ball as yet. Here in this tricky period in the middle of the first half, but here is Michael Angus. Strikers have grown into this game. Interesting looking ball towards McLean. Kazuya Ito needs to be quick, and Kazuya Ito makes a little bit of a mess out of that. Excellent work from McLean. Danger here. Here's Hiroki Omori. It was snuffed out by the Olympic defence, but at the cost of a corner. And watch the yellow shirts stream forward for this one. 31 minutes gone. An engrossing first half here in the National Premier League's Queensland. Lee will be the one charged with the delivery of this ball from that far side. Hiroki Omori making a run. It's in fact Hensley at the back post. Dias does well. Now Olympic will break. That's good work from Messenger. Stefanuto and White combine very well. Passaros. Apologies, Edgar. Passaros was inside him. Just waiting for a touch. A stronger touch than what Edgar managed to get on the ball. Strikers living dangerously, playing at the back. Here's Lee. Rode for challenge of Ito. And Clulo can't regather the ball. And Maltby gets involved again. But it's fallen now for the hosts. Stefanuto on the run on the outside. Nazari received it, tried to turn the ball goalward. He had 4 men in the box, was unable to find either of them. Lovely ball by Michael Angus, who was caught late, and we are going to see a yellow card. Ironic cheers from a strong Strikers contingent of supporters here in the grandstand at Goodwin Park. Our second yellow card of the game. Dubious honour goes to Zelfi Nazari. Perhaps more importantly for strikers, offers an opportunity to get the ball into the box. Though it is rather straight, they'd have liked a bit more of an angle on it. Knight is free on this near side, and that's exactly where the ball goes. Stefanuto got a touch there for a striker's throw-in. Had to follow it. Maltby. Maltby twists and turns, does well, keeps it in. Directed the ball towards the penalty spot, but no one there in a yellow shirt. Angus cuts that ball wide to Hiroki Omori. Omori chooses not to waste any energy and plays instead to Clulo. Back to Omori. Clulo under pressure from Nazari and Psaros. It's still with Omori. Now Maltby. Maltby being allowed to run. Here's McLean. Is McLean going to have a shot? McLean is going to have a shot. It was always going over. Could perhaps have used Sam Knight on this near side. Instead chose to go for goal. And it hit some of the quite interesting banners behind Nick Mooney's goal. Everything coming up Lofthouse. I think that's my favourite. Carnivore does get an honourable mention. Seeing them on your screens now. Sloppy from Mooney, but it's worked out for strikers. White being allowed to run. Nazari. Back to Mundy. Now Ito. Ito back across field to Stefanuto. Olympic forced back into their own half. White has time to turn. Dias can't keep hold of it, but neither can Knight. And here's Lofthouse. Lofthouse tried to spray that ball through. It was a good block from Hensley that denied him that chance. Hensley's been made to work so far in this first half, just 10 minutes of it remaining. The lights have finally took full effect, you feel, here at Goodwin Park. And a bit of chill just creeping into the air. Hensley chose not to jump with Edgar, just did enough. And it's his teammate Michael McGowan who just mops up the former Redlands and Port Melbourne player over the past couple of years. Good ball by Archbold. Only to Stefanuto though, and Stefanuto heads clear. Messenger goes down. It's fallen for McLean though. Now back for Lee. Messenger's still down. Hiroki Omori receives the ball over on that far side regardless. Omori turns back inside to McLean. McLean, that's lovely work between McLean and Clulo. McLean! Good tackle by Mooney. He got all of the ball there. Brilliant goalkeeping to race off his line and deny Jake McLean. Good opportunity for the strikers though. Here's Messenger. He's shaken off that tackle but is dispossessed, and now it's Jez Loftus who's allowed to run at goal. He does have support in front of him. Goes past Michael Angus, but Michael Angus does pick up the ball, but it's still there for Olympic. Dias goes down. Surely not a penalty. Definitely not a penalty. Nathan McDonald well aware to that. You heard Stefanuto's opinion. It's a free kick regardless to the Brisbane Strikers, his former side, who he played over 100 games for in the National Soccer League. And once again, strikers are able to clear through Archbold. Been a very good game this if you've just joined us. Olympic have had the ball in the back of the net through Edgar, but the flag was up correctly for offside, you feel, but Olympic were perhaps complaining of a foul that could have been given, perhaps justifiably. Stefanuto had to be aware there for that quick throw. He's been good so far, the former Socceroo. Knight. Not much room to operate down there between Knight and Maltby. Here's Edgar. Psaros. He's dangerous going forward. Instead goes back to Ito. Waters must be careful. Good ball. Forward to Edgar. Olympic on the attack. That's gone all the way across towards Nathan Archbold. I think Dias was the intended target, but it was a misfunctioning radar. Directed the ball straight into the grateful arms of the former Charleston City Blues keeper. Thrown in front of their own dugout for the strikers. McLean. Nice towards Maltby. Maltby gets in behind the Olympic defence. Oh, he tried to play it ball back towards Hiroki Omori. Doesn't find him, instead does find Jake McLean. And then Jake McLean wins the free kick. Shrugs his shoulders despite the protestations from the men in red. This is a very dangerous looking position for a free kick. Will we see the opening goal of this encounter? Omori is standing over it. So is Jake McLean. Michael Lee has walked away. Maltby and Messenger lurking this side of the penalty area. It's a four-man wall. Maltby and Messenger have been picked up. Clulo will be looking for scraps as well. McLean goes low straight into the wall. Has another go! It's gone all the way through to Mooney. Either side of him, he may have had a chance, but it was straight at the Olympic keeper, who comfortably gathered. Gee, playing with five there with Zach Maltby. They do clear, though, Olympic, and here is Shelford Dias. Tried to squeeze that ball through to Lofthouse. That would have been dangerous. Lee and McLean getting themselves in a little spot of bother there. That allows Olympic the chance to clear. They're three at the back now, Olympic, as they press forward with Mundy. Pissarros gets the better of Messenger. It's Pissarros again. Looking for an option, Pissarros. Still looking for an option. Perhaps should have spent more time looking towards goal. Felt the shot perhaps was on, but it was well snuffled. Mooney is in no man's land here. It's going to take a combination of Waters and Stefanuto to bail him out of trouble there. Mooney did well to win the header, but the ball sat up a little bit too much for his liking, you feel. White. Stefanuto outside him. Stefanuto goes back to White. White needs an option, finds one in Dias on the inside. Edgar. Pissarros. That's wide to Ito. Apologies, it's not Ito. Over on that far side. Olympic do clear. It was Zelfi Nasri. And here is Nasri. Shaped across. Instead goes wide to Pissarros. Pissarros back to Ito. Dias. Pissarros. Good looking ball, cut out at the first opportunity though by McGowan. And now Maltby on the counter-attack. And then he releases Clulo. Mooney again comes flying out and puts that ball onto the roof of a car. Did well though the keeper despite the slice to snuff out the danger. Here's Hiroki Omori. Omori does very well against Edgar. Lee. Tried to play in Maltby. It's there for Maltby. It's sat up brilliantly. A lovely ball from Lee. Maltby's forced back. It's good defence in the end by Kristen Waters. Very accomplished defender who has scored in his last two games against strikers. Lofthouse back to Stefanuto. White. Ito injects a little bit of pace. Pissarros, lovely looking ball towards Nazari. It was taken off his head by Nathan Archbold. Lovely run, lovely weighted ball by Costa Pissarros. Well snuffed out by Archbold. Brilliant football all round. here at Goodwin Park. Clulo. Maltby. Stands up Ito. Back inside to Lee. Here's Hiroki Amori. Oh, it was an interesting shot. Not quite sure it was on, to be honest. No real other options, though, unfortunately, for the visiting side, who've battled hard after weathering an early onslaught from Olympic. Has a nice looking ball towards Nazari, and the header. Well, Edgar was lurking. Never quite got to him, though. Opened up a little bit this game. Just 2 minutes or so to go before the half-time interval. Really good game this, if you've only just joined us. It is Olympic 0, Strikers 0. Olympic in second, Strikers in fifth after the previous results of the weekend. They were first and fourth, respectively, coming into round 11. As it stands, Olympic will stay second due to Pride's superior goal difference. Strikers will move into fourth over Moreton Bay United. Lee, will we see a goal before the break? Not if the Olympic defence have any say in it. Angus does well to get there first, ahead of Diaz. Lee and Angus linking up over on that far side. Hiroki Amori, McLean, Amori. Back to McGowan, Messenger. Strikers content to play the ball around inside their own half. McGowan is forced back though. And Messenger's forced back as well. Not sure what Lofthouse was doing there, but he's left crumpled on a heap in the deck. Gets up. He's going to chase down hard on Trent Clulo. Here's Messenger. And then it is Lofthouse, and Lofthouse just about gets the ball, but not quite, not enough anyway. The Messenger plays the ball into Maltby. Lovely skill from Maltby. It is a corner. That was glorious. Stefanuto, not sure he knew too much about that, but he was in the right position. The Olympic left back. And Hiroki Amori will come over to this near side to deliver the corner. Time is up in the first half. This will be a real hammer blow to Olympic should Strikers score here. They have won 4 of the last 6 against Olympic. Ball comes in, it's a looping one, a high one towards Hensley. It's headed clear by Pissarros and then smashed clear by Matt Mundy. There's no Olympic player up the field, and that may be just as well because the whistle has been blown by Nathan McDonald to bring an end to proceedings here in the first half. An excellent first half between 2 excellent sides here in the National Premier League's Queensland. Still 0-0, but that's not to say it hasn't been something of an arm wrestle. Both sides battling for supremacy, and I'm sure we're in for a sensational second 45 after the short break. So don't go anywhere except to get yourself a hot or cold drink, depending on where you're watching in the world. Do let us know on the Football Queensland Facebook page, and we will give you a shout out. 0-0 here at half time. Olympic 0, Strikers 0. Join us after these short messages.
Fantastic program for kids to come in, see if they like football, also learn new skills, come out to the park, enjoy it, meet new friends as well.
I recommend to all parents, both for the girls and boys, to join soccer. It's a way to boost their self-confidence and also to interact with other kids, and they love every second of it.
swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
Today.
In tomorrow's game, there'll be another golden generation.
You'll be told which club to support by your grandparents.
The world will want to play here.
I'll have his job.
And we'll be world champions.
At NAB, we're proud to support football in Australia. More than money.
It's a fantastic program for kids to come in, see if they like football, also learn new skills, come out to the park, enjoy it, meet new friends as well.
I recommend to all parents, both for the girls and boys, to join soccer. It's a way to boost their self-confidence and also to interact with other kids, and they love every second of it.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
We did great today.
In tomorrow's game, there'll be another golden generation.
You'll be told which club to support by your grandparents.
The world will want to play here.
I'll have his job.
And we'll be world champions.
At NAB, we're proud to support football in Australia. NAB, more than money.
Welcome back to Goodwin Park. If you've just joined us, you've missed a engrossing first half of National Premier League's Queensland football between Olympic and Brisbane Strikers. Still 0-0 at the break, but really has been an interesting game. Both teams really impressing upon the viewers how much their various strengths lie and where they lie. Olympic started out the stronger. Strikers have really got themselves back into the game. Not too much in the way of goal-mouth action. Strikers did fashion a couple of opportunities on goal just before the half-time interval. Olympic haven't really worked Nathan Archbold yet, although they did have the ball in the back of the net through Adam Edgar. He was correctly adjudged to have been offside. Been a little bit in this as well for Nathan McDonald to do, the Total Tools referee. You can't see that changing as Olympic look to extend their unbeaten run to 11 games and equal that club record here in the National Premier League's Queensland. Simon Smale bringing you all the action. Thank you very much for joining us on the Football Queensland Facebook page and YouTube channel as Strikers, the visitors, get us underway in their yellow shirts with the blue sleeves. They're kicking from right to left in the second half. Olympic in the red. And it's an early throw-in, attacking throw-in, which will be taken by Hiroki Omori in the number 17 shirt. Looped up forward towards Clulo. Clulo hooks it in. Just too far ahead of Omori. It's going to come back though. Lee. Well, Lee's done well. Here's Maltby. Maltby tries to spray it through to Lee. Still there for Lee. Working in confined space was Michael Lee. He was taken away from him though by the Olympic defence, and it was launched forward towards former Strikers star Shelford Dias. It's taken away from him in turn by the Strikers defence. Both teams do have impressive defences. Olympic have only conceded 10 goals all season. Headed back by McGowan to Archbold. Strikers have only conceded 13. They're on an unbeaten run, are Strikers, of 6 games after going winless in their first 3. They're making a charge up the table in 5th as things stand after the previous results of the weekend. We'll run through those slightly later. I'll just give you the teams to remind you of the starting lineups, which have remained unchanged so far in the first half, and as far as I can tell, here in the second as well. Jez Lofthouse crabbing across the field. Nathan Archbold in goal for Strikers, wearing number 1. 4, Brock Messenger. Number 5, Greg Hensley. 6, Michael McGowan. 7, Michael Lee. 8, Michael Angus. And here is Adam Edgar, is it? Adam Edgar, that's a brilliant save by Nathan Archbold. You'd have backed Adam Edgar to do a bit more with that there and add to his 7 goals this season, but in the end, it's a really, really good save by Nathan Archbold, who made himself big and got out just in time. Keep running through the teams. Number 10, Jake McLean for Strikers. Number 13, Sam Knight. Number 17, Hiroki Omori. Number 18, Trent Clulo. Your home side, Olympic. In goal, Nick Mooney. 3, Shane Stefanuto. 4, Kristen Waters. 5, Steve White. 6, Matt Mundy. 7, Shelford Dias. 8, Kazuo Ito, that man on the ball there, who's just launched the ball forward towards the Strikers' goal. Nice, neat interplay there on this near side by Strikers, and here's an opportunity for Jake McLean. Has Hiroki Omori on the run. Omori is a left back, but quite often gets into those advanced positions and is incredibly dangerous when he does so. Spasaros is bundled to the ground by Michael Angus. Keep going through the teams. 11, Jez Lofthouse for Olympic. 12, Costa Spasaros. 18, Adam Edgar. And number 20, Zelfi Nazari. Bench for Olympic is Jack Glover, Danny Byrne, Dakota Sprange, 11, Kuminao, and Jean-Philippe Lassen, number 19. Shelford Dias will try to thread the needle through towards Adam Edgar. Could only pick out the rather distinctive figure of Michael McGowan. Radar has been slightly off in the final third for both teams. Here's Pissarros, looks for an option inside, gets in, that's a bit sloppy from Steve White, forces Kazuya Ito back. Mundy on a driving run. Oh, that's a nice looking ball towards Nazari. And then it's still there for Edgar, is it? Strikers' defence scrambling. Chipped across to Dias. Archbold was back in his goal by that time. I think that's as close as Olympic have come. And they have started this second half brightest, the hosts, in the red shirts. And it all came from that driving run by Matt Mundy. Well, that's a ball from through to Jez Lofthouse. He's got him behind the defence. Good save, Archbold. Very good save. Jez Lofthouse so dangerous when he gets in behind. It was a lovely ball. Jez Lofthouse head down into the penalty area. Again, we see this distinctive corner formation. Short to Ito. To the third man, White. It's a dangerous looking ball. Well watched and well gathered by Nathan Archbold at the back post. We've seen that a lot in the first half, that three-man line of Olympics. Cushion control there by Matt Mundy, who's playing an increasingly important role here in this second half, the Olympic captain. Saros, Edgar, dispossessed by the effervescent Hiroki Omori. McGowan back to Archbold, who's had to be on his game immediately after the half-time break. Stefanuto. White, back to Stefanuto. Chooses to go back again to Matt Mundy. White. Here goes Mundy again. And this time it's McLean who gets himself in the way and effects a very good tackle. And here's an opportunity perhaps too far ahead, though, of Trent Clulo. The right idea. Olympic nearly sprung by that attack by strikers. It's a trap they had laid on the counter. But now here comes Costa Pissarros. That's disappointing. And Costa Pissarros knows it. Holding his head in his hands. Archbold uses Hiroki Mori on this near side. Pissarros closing down, but inside to Lee. Lee gives the no nonsense to Nazari. And here comes Lee. Keeps it in on this near side. Wants an option in the penalty area. Finds one deep in the half to Messenger. Does fall for McLean though, and then McLean tries to pop it over the top. To where Sam Knight was waiting, but strikers conspire to concede a free kick, which Stefanuto takes quickly. High-tempo football here in the National Premier League's Queensland at Goodwin Park. Olympic and strikers, 0-0 as it stands. Just 50 minutes gone in the game. Dangerous cross by Pissarros was cut out by McGowan. Again, it's an open start to the game. Lofthouse rides a challenge. It's the ball back from Dias. Dias and Edgar linking up. Nazari. Mundy. Stefanuto. Stefanuto wants an option. White is that option inside. White is closed down by Angus, but then plays the ball in towards Lofthouse. Lofthouse does well to shake off Sam Knight. Back outside to White. Ball into the middle and Edgar. He thinks he should have done better, and I think he's probably right. Maltby heads that ball on. Outside the penalty area for Mooney, but he proved in the first half he's not averse to leaving the safe confines of his own penalty box. Effected a couple of very vital interventions. Here's Mundy. Lovely ball to Edgar. Edgar just can't get it under control as he would like. Still retains possession though. Has Pissarros back. Instead chooses to go all the way back to Steve White. Chested control, and that's excellently done by Sam Knight. Goes high into the night sky here at Goodwin Park in Yeronga. And it's worked out for strikers. Tried to find its way through towards Hiroki Amori. He battles with Kazuya Ito and wins that battle. Here's McLean. Knight on the outside. Lee. Well, Lee did well. He was running out of space, though, and tightening that angle. Couldn't quite squeeze it. Back inside into the penalty area. Or past Nick Mooney. Nazari. Pissarros. Back to Ito, who chips it over the top to Waters. And Olympic will try the other side with Stefanuto. He goes back inside to Waters and White. Waters looks for an option ahead of him. Finds Lofthouse. Lofthouse. Twisting and turning. Standing up Brock Messenger. Messenger running him down an alley. It's an Olympic throw. I have a feeling the strikers' bench don't agree. Lofthouse. We almost skipped past one challenge, but Clulo was there to mop up. Throw in still for Olympic though. Stefanuto takes inside to Dias and he's crowded out. But it's well tackled there by Nazari. Tackle's flying in now, that time on Zach Maltby. Olympic retaining possession. Here's Matt Mundy. Inside to Dias. Mundy. Edgar wanted it to his feet. Mundy decided that ball wasn't on. Here's Steve White. It's over the head of Mundy to Ito. Ito allowed to run. Inside to Dias. Ito's there. It's mopped up well by Michael Angus. That was a promising attack from the hosts, but it's been well snuffed out by Olympic. That's neat from Sam Knight. McLean. It's mugged by Costa Pissarros, and Costa Pissarros is allowed to run now. Runs up a blind alley though, and now there's space on this near side for Messenger. Has Hiroki Amori inside, but he's forced back by Zelfi Nazari. McGowan finds Hensley over on that far side, and now Knight. Angus. It's good from Brisbane strikers. Clulo. Inside. Maltby, it's falling for Maltby. Horrible mistake! And it's a horrible mistake that's led to a goal. Kristen Waters. Oh, sorry, it was Matt Mundy with the error. His head's in his hands. And the Olympic captain, who I thought would be having a positive impact at the other end of the field based on his performances so far in this second half, has had a catastrophic impact at the back. And Zach Maltby made no mistake. And strikers lead by 1-0. There's the Bronx cheers. There's plenty of Brisbane strikers support here in the stand at Goodwin Park. And they will be thrilled to see their team leading by a 1-0, courtesy of that poor mistake at the back from Matt Mundy, who'd been so impressive going forward so far in this second half. All the work to do now to continue this excellent unbeaten run, now Olympic. Here is Mundy. The right idea towards Zelfi Nazari, but too much on it. As Mundy tries to make amends. Drops back into that defensive line to make it a back four on occasion, does Matt Mundy. That's exactly what David Large had expected to happen, as I now spoke to him in the pre-game. He's not quite as comfortable on the ball, though, perhaps, as Kristen Waters. That's what led to the error and the pressure that Zach Maltby put him under. And there was plenty of work to do once Maltby had got possession of the ball. Did well to get it under his control and slide it under the despairing figure of Nick Mooney. Here come Olympic, though. It's cut out before it could get to Steve White. It's Maltby again. Oh, that's a strong pass back by Waters to Mooney. Mooney did well to take it on his chest. Jittery at the back now, Olympic. The pressure of strikers. Hensley with the Hollywood dive to control that ball on his chest and play the ball out, but it's still there for Olympic, for strikers. Here's Lee. Back to McGowan. McGowan goes home to Nathan Archbold. Has plenty of time to find Brock Messenger. 22-year-old former New Zealand under-20 international. Maltby's there again. That time Mundy made no mistake and headed the ball back to Mooney in safety. Here's Kristen Waters on a run. Dias, lovely ball wide to Lofthouse. Lofthouse can't get it past Greg Hensley, who was brilliantly positioned, and plays the ball out to Michael Lee. It's a handball over on that far side against Stefanuto. Stefanuto perhaps suggesting that it wasn't a handball. Side with it all to do here in this second half. 15 minutes of it gone. Clock has in fact stopped from the scoreboard. Oh no, there we go. Just a bit jittery, as you'd have to say. The Olympic defence has become Dyson as Nazari and White conspire to give the ball away again. It's picked up though by White, and now there's Lofthouse over on that far side. Nazari wins the free kick. Taken quickly from absolutely nowhere near where it was given from. Play's allowed to continue. Psaros. Oh, sorry, it was Edgar. Tried to squeeze that ball through to Psaros. Hiroki Amori tried to convince the assistant referee that it wasn't he who got the final touch, but then rather gave away the fact that he may have by chasing after it like a man possessed. Stefanuto has a bit of space now to push forward. Olympic chasing hard for an equaliser. That's lovely work by Dias. Will he come back to haunt his former club? Lofthouse. Forced back are Olympic. Dias. That's a lovely ball to Stefanuto. It's chipped in to Edgar. Can't get it under control. Back to Dias. It's still there for Olympic. Stefanuto with the ball. Off the back of Sam Knight. Still there for Stefanuto. Just over the head of Costa Psaros. And Stefano in the rarefied atmosphere up there on the edge of the opponent's penalty box, causing all sorts of problems. And that was a good opportunity for Olympia. They just couldn't get the shot away. Not sure what's going on with the scoreboard now. It momentarily had strikers leading by 3-0. So I only blinked, and I know if you blink you might miss something, but I don't think I missed 2 goals. Archbold gets play back underway with the goal kick. McGowan with the header. Nazari back inside. Edgar. Lee, Messenger. And here's Sam Knight. Hensley couldn't quite get hold of that, but fortunately there was no one chasing that ball, and Archbold had enough time to adjust his position and gather. There's no pressure at all on Nathan Archbold, and I think he'll take as much time as he likes before Shelford Dias belatedly gives him some attention. Sloppy in the midfield by Olympic, given away to one man you don't want to give the ball away to, Hiroki Omori. An exaggerated step over from Omori, back to Maltby and Angus. Maltby, the goal scorer. Angus, that's a nice ball by Angus to Clulo. Had Omori on the run on the inside. Here's Michael Angus. McLean. Lee. Knight. Oh, it's blocked clear by Kazuya Ito. Danger here for Olympic still. Messenger plays the ball back out wide to Sam Knight. Knight to Lee. Steve White's there, and he gives away the corner. We're going to see a substitution. Jean-Philippe Lassam is the man who's coming on, and he's going to replace Adam Edgar. Former Surfers Paradise Apollo man, played 76 games for them down in the Gold Coast BLK League. Has scored this season in the round 4 clash away at Moreton Bay United. Will he get another vital goal here for Olympic? That's sloppy from the strikers. Hiroki Omori and Michael Lee conspire to give the ball away to Zelfi Nasri. Stefanuto, dangerous. Waters, Lofthouse. Inside to Psaros. Lofthouse couldn't quite get there. Angus. McGowan. Hensley. Hensley under pressure from Nazari. Finds Clulo. Clulo and Knight linking up, and then nobody made the run that Clulo was hoping for. And Waters plays the ball out wide to Kazuya Ito. Jean-Philippe Lassam. Kristen Waters with the shimmy to take it past Jake McLean, who was advancing rapidly. White, and here's Nazari. Nazari is fouled by Greg Hensley. It looked like Hensley was brought down himself, but he in fact picks up a yellow card, his first for the season. He must have just done enough to block the run of Zelfi Nazari, who did go into the book himself in that first half. And gee, this is an important free kick for Olympic, and in a very dangerous position as well. We talk about tall timber. The tallest of them all, Christian Waters, is up there, lurking on the edge of the penalty area. Psaros at the back post. Mundy looking to make amends. It's gone towards Mundy. It's taken off his head by Archbold. Headed back inside by White, and then headed over the grandstand. by Sam Knight. Lassen, White. Inside to Waters. Shane Stefanuto. Dias wants it. Instead, it goes to White. Back to Stefanuto. Shimmy from Stefanuto to Jean-Philippe Lassam. Here's Pissarros. Olympic moving the ball around well here as they chase an equalising goal. Kazuya Ito inside to Dias, and Dias is bundled off the ball by Hiroki Omori, and then strikers win the free kick after an over-enthusiastic challenge by Dias. It's gone 2 games without a goal, has Shelford Dias, after an impressive run of scoring earlier in the season. He'd have been looking to break that run today against strikers. And he's working very, very hard against his former club, who he spent 2013 season with as a junior, and the 2016 season with for just 9 games. After spending some time at the Brisbane Roar, which he won the 2014-15 National Youth League Player of the Year, as the Roar made it to 2nd spot on the ladder in the National Youth League. It's now the Y League, Foxtel Y League. Ito and Pissarros combining to clear that ball, but it's onto the head of Messenger. It's mopped up now by Mundy. Can he launch one of these rampaging runs that he was doing in the opening 10 minutes of the second half? What an intervention that was by Angus. It wasn't much, but it was just enough to take the ball off the feet of Zelfi Nazari. Just not quite falling for the hosts at the moment, midway through this second half. They trail Brisbane Strikers by 1-0. Today's earlier game, Brisbane City picked up a 4-0 win up in Townsville against North Queensland United. That goes with Lions' 3-0 win against Cairns yesterday, Western Pride's 6-1 win over the Roar, Magpies Crusaders' 5-3 win over Redlands United, and Moreton Bay United's 4-1 win over Gold Coast United. South West Queensland Thunder and Sunshine Coast shared a goalless draw. Nazari, played in by Pissarros. Dias was probably about 5 metres offside, so did not go for that ball. And it's gone not quite out for a throw-in. Goal kick. It had to be picked up by Michael Angus. And he gives that ball to Archbold, who puts it out on the full on the halfway line, which Stefanuto then flings back from whence it came towards Jez Lofthouse. Hensley was covering. Dias. It's been crowded out of it somewhat. Here's Jean-Philippe Lassam. Mundy, whose error led to Striker's goal. Pissarros back inside. White has room to operate. And with that room and time, you would have hoped for a better ball. You can just about hear on the field some of the players perhaps suggesting to Steve White that he had plenty of time, who former Central Coast Mariner. He's the academy captain. He's played 70 games there. We're going to see another substitution for Olympic. It's James Kumineo making his season debut, and he is going to replace Steve White. Kumineo come on for his 87th appearance in the National Premier League's Queensland for Olympic. Sorry, that includes a few appearances with the QAS. Olympic ball. We mentioned Steve White. He broke his duck last week, scoring a goal against Brisbane City. It's the third and final goal for Olympic in that 3-1 win. Described as being delighted to get that goal. Managed 6 in 70 appearances for the Central Coast Mariners Academy. Played, of course, in the United States, in the United Soccer League for Seattle Sounders. He'll play no further part here. It's nice from Hiroki Omori, and he does win the throw. Costa Pizarros just stretching out those calves after stretching to make that block. Morby and Ito coming together. Mundy picks up the ball. Stefanuto over on that far side. Cuts back inside. Finds Lassam. Lassam is being harried by Angus. Legally, says referee Nathan McDonald. And then Sam Knight just popped in ahead of Jez Lofthouse. Stefanuto with the throw. Receives it back from Nazari. Mundy. Ito. Plays the ball across to Dias, who works hard, but there's three strikers players conspiring to deny him an opportunity at goal. Michael Angus plays a hopeful ball up towards Zach Maltby, but it's dealt with by Kristen Waters. Here's Matt Mundy again. Nazari. Kuminao. No options for Kuminao, so he has to go back to Stefanuto. Nazari brings Hensley to the ground. No foul, says the referee, and the ball is hacked clear by the strikers. Firmly on the defensive, and they're limiting Olympic to playing the ball around the edge of the penalty area at the moment. Nazari does well. No advantage, the referee gives the free kick. David Large does have options on his bench. Mostly in an attacking sense, though. We'll have to deal with this free kick from a defensive standpoint first. Stefanuto just nipped in there to get there ahead of Zach Maltby and retain possession, but strikers do pick it up, and here is Maltby allowed to run. He's got pace. Tackle needs to be right from Christian Waters. He sort of got it right, just about right enough, you'd have to say. Kuminao does well, and he releases Jez Lofthouse, who has Messenger ahead of him. He's forced to crab across field. Pizarros. Olympic need options ahead of the ball rather than sideways. Mundy's looking for one such option. Finds it in Costa Pizarros. Here's Dias. Dias twisting and turning. Costa Pizarros with the snapshot. Didn't get hold of it. And it was comfortably gathered by Archbold. That was a good opportunity, though. And Costa Pizarros starting to really struggle with that calf now. They have Danny Byrne on the bench. Do Olympic. It's one option for Ben Khan. Mundy needs to go. Just gets there ahead of Michael Lee. That could be very important. You wouldn't want another error from the captain. He's made one. Probably has been only one as well. And unfortunately for him and for the home side, it has led to Brisbane strikers' goal. Costa Pizarros just out of camera shot. He's really stretching his calf now. Not much movement on the Olympic bench, though. Mundy, Pizarros, Kazuya Ito. There's the run by Kuminao. He's offside. He's pretty annoyed. And Greg Hensley has gone down and has stayed down. Show a bit of experience and take a little bit of time. Just 13.5 minutes of normal time remaining. There's 13.5 minutes for Ben Khan and Olympic to rescue this unbeaten run. Stands at 10 at the moment. They'd dearly like to make it 11. Waters lets it go. Mooney picks it up. Comes back this way. Kazuya Ito. Pissarros is available just below our camera position. It's good evasive action taken by Nathan McDonald. It's chipped in, but far too heavy by Shelford Dias. Selfie Nazari had made a run, and it was a good run too. Waters controls that ball well, but it's played back inside to McLean. Kulo proving evasive and elusive. Plays the ball through to Maltby. Just can't keep it in. We are going to see our first substitution of the day. 4 strikers, and it's going to be Rhys Meredith who returns. Just making just his 4th appearance of the season for Olympic, just his 4 strikers, sorry. Just his 7th since his hugely impressive 2016 season, in which he scored 17 goals in 19 games. Zach Maltby, the goal scorer, is withdrawn. And right into the action is Rhys Meredith. He does well, picks the pocket of Mundy. We've said that before. It resulted in a goal last time. It's not going to result in a goal this time because that ball was played behind Michael Lee. Can Olympic get anything out of this? If they can't get a free kick, McGowan gives it away. McDonald wants it to be taken from the spot. Ito injects some pace and a good ball towards Zelfi Nazari. Some chasing down, and it's getting tight in there, and Olympic come away with the ball again. Pissarros, how hampered is he by that calf that he's been feeling over the last few minutes? Judging by that pass, quite a bit. Trent Clulo with the header, but it's mopped up by Stefanuto. Strikers camped in their own half as it stands. Kumineo. Olympic ball. Lofthouse. Lofthouse can't squeeze that ball through, but then neither can Clulo. Once again, Olympic ball. Stefanuto. Once again in the rarefied air up on the edge of the penalty area with the throw-in, but Olympic give the ball away and it can't be caught out by Waters. And then Meredith, I think, kicked the ground. Oh, what a let-off for Olympic. Mooney had come racing out. Meredith perhaps showing a little bit of lack of match practice there. Perhaps he saw Mooney coming out from the corner of his eye. Stefanuto walking up the sideline with the ball, throws it back. Squeezed all the way through to Kazuya Ito. Mundy. Pissarros. So Ito had made the run. He's in a very advanced position. The right back. Here's Dias. Dias gets past, goes down. Big shake of the head from Nathan McDonald. looked like he might have gone down under his own steam from this opinion. He got the better of Greg Hensley. Just didn't look like there was enough of a touch, perhaps, by Hensley on Dias, but they're continuing to press Olympic. Here is that man, Dias. Retains the ball very well and out wide to Stefanuto. Stefanuto with the cross, a dangerous one. It's deflected wide for a corner. Olympic continue to press. And Stefanuto continues to talk to Nathan McDonald about that penalty decision. Just from this angle, it just didn't look like there was enough in it, to be honest. We're going to see a substitution. Zelfi Nazari comes off. Jack Glover comes on. Former North Queensland Heat player. That corner's far too close to Nathan Archbold. And that clearance is far too close to Lassam, but it's played through by Rhys Meredith. It was a poor ball by Lassam, and we're going to see a yellow card, are we? We're going to see a red card. Well, he didn't last long, did he, Jack Glover? He's only been on the field about 2 minutes, if that. And he denied a clear goal-scoring opportunity by felling Rhys Meredith, and he has been sent off almost immediately. Disaster for Olympic. And a free kick on the edge of the area is the other result. Big moment that. It was a poor back pass, really, by Jean-Philippe Lassam. He played Jack Glover into a fair spot of bother because Rhys Meredith bearing down on goal. It's not a sight any goalkeeper wants to see, and comes for free kick from McLean. It comes off the wall and will go out for a corner eventually. Glover came across and just caught Rhys Meredith. Substitution is going to be made for Brisbane Strikers, but they're going to wait, are they, until after this corner? No, they're not. Trent Clulo is the man who's withdrawn. He's worked hard, has Clulo. Appreciative clapping from the grandstand here. It's been a good atmosphere at Goodwin Park. It's taken off the head of Greg Hensley, and Ryan Palmer gets involved straight away over on that far side, winning the throw-in. Five minutes remaining here, and you'd have to say a man down and a goal down. The run is surely over, but don't rule out there being late drama here at Goodwin Park. There so often is in the National Premier League's Queensland. So Olympic try and scramble that ball clear. It was taken out by the Olympic player. Strikers throw. They'll want to get their foot on the ball as soon as possible. Will the home side, and they have done so. Free kick is given. Dias is going to be pulled back. We're going to see a yellow card. It's a perhaps sensible yellow card, if there is such a thing, by Michael Angus. And referee Nathan McDonald is going to pull the ball back as he wants to finish his notes. Stefanuto will take the free kick. The remaining Olympic players, aside from Nick Mooney, all ahead of him. Came off the head of McLean. Forward for Dias, but it's mopped up by Hensley, and Hensley clears upfield to McLean. McLean helps it on. Lassam has to do well. He doesn't really. Rhys Meredith again. Ambitious. Mooney scrambled across his goal and was able to clear out wide to Costa Passaros. Passaros chips up wide to Kristen Waters. We're going to see a yellow card to Michael McGowan. They're starting to rack up here at Goodwin Park for yellow cards. That's the fourth of the afternoon for the Strikers. And a really good opportunity here for Shane Stefanuto to deliver a ball. There's a bit of goings on in the penalty area between Kristen Waters and McGowan, I think. Pushing and shoving. It's all to the back of Nathan McDonald at the moment. Dare say he'll notice it soon enough. Lots of movement in the penalty area. Strikers have to be careful. Stefanuto will curl this towards the back post. It's a nightmare for keepers to deal with. It's a dangerous looking ball. It is a nightmare to deal with. It's been fumbled by Archbold. No Olympic player can take advantage though. Excellent delivery by Stefanuto. Ball's chipped in by Ito. It's there for Waters. Passaros hit by Mundy. Not very well though. And a relieving foul on Hensley. Kristen Waters just asking perhaps why. He scored in his last 2 games against Strikers, remember, from centre-back, Kristen Waters. Will Lightning strike a 3rd time? He's been pushed forward. I have a feeling Jack Glover had pushed him forward anyway with that substitution. But then, despite Glover being sent off after however many seconds, he has remained up top. And what a handful he will be for any defender. Kristen Waters. He knows all the tricks from the other side, as it were. Is it going to fall for Lassam here? Archbold comes out well. Hensley just did enough, but it was the knock-on from Kristen Waters getting the better of Michael McGowan that caused the problems. Big looping ball by Archbold is headed back by Mundy, picked up by Mooney. Olympic will come again. Kazuya Ito on the ball. This is where Rhys Meredith has to work hard up front, chasing everything down for the Strikers. Long ball to Waters. Waters gets the ball. Waters gets into the penalty area. Waters wins a corner. He's proving dangerous, the big centre-back for Olympic up top. Will there be late drama at Goodwin Park? Can Olympic, the 10 men of Olympic, salvage a draw? Or maybe even more? Ito with the corner. Onto the head of Waters! Just can't direct it. The right side of the post. Archbold sighs with relief. Hiroki Amori was there on the post. He let it bounce in front of him. But that's the danger. Waters claps his hands together. While time remains, Olympic will still have hope to retain this run and keep it going. What an omen that would be for Olympic. Last time they had an unbeaten run of 11 games, they won it all in 2013. They're not going to win it by giving the ball to Rhys Meredith. Meredith bundled off the ball by Mundy. Fairly, says McDonald. James Kuminau absolutely clatters Messenger. This could boil over. Brock Messenger has gone down very heavily. It's a very heavy challenge. You could see it coming a mile off. James Kuminau gets Olympics' second yellow card to add to the collection. Brock Messenger hasn't moved. It's a very heavy collision. Scoreboard clock over on that far side still says 41 minutes in this second half. I can tell you, and you can see up in your top left-hand corner, that we are in time added on, and there can be not much of it, you wouldn't have thought. Messenger has got up and is able to continue. Not gone to the sidelines after receiving treatment. Lee. Hiroki Amori. He'll hold the ball up as long as he can. Back to Lee. Amori. Lee. Lee. Under pressure from Pissarros. Pissarros concedes the corner. Shows his frustration by kicking the ball against the advertising hoardings. It's been a good game. It seems slightly unfair that it was a goal that came from a real horrible error from Matt Mundy. That's all it's taken to split the two sides. Two very evenly matched sides, you'd have to say. That is time. Nathan McDonald blows his whistle. Strikers go back into fourth spot. Olympic will stay in second. It's getting tight at the top of the National Premier League's Queensland table. Olympic suffer their first defeat of the season. And it came thanks to a Zach Maltby goal in the 56th minute. A horrible error from Matt Mundy. He just failed to control the ball and allowed it to slip under his foot straight into the path of Zach Maltby, who made no mistake. Controlled the ball and side-footed it past Nick Mooney in the Olympic goal. Olympic then had Jack Glover sent off within seconds of being substituted on. That was the nail in the coffin, you'd have to say, although Olympic, they continued to press and continued to challenge. A late header from Kristen Waters just passing the wrong side of the post. Olympic will head to the Sunshine Coast to take on Sunshine Coast Fire next Saturday afternoon. Strikers will welcome North Queensland United to Perry Park. Don't forget, there will be more live football for you this Tuesday night. Mitchelton against Souths United. So get excited about that one. Football Queensland Premier League action from Terralba Park on Tuesday night. From Friday night, from the original Friday night action. But that's how we'll leave it here. Olympic have suffered their first defeat of the season. They're no longer the only team undefeated in the National Premier League's Queensland. Strikers pick up their 7th win, their 5th in 6 games against their opponents today, and their 3rd win in a row at Goodwin Park. Thanks for joining us on the Football Queensland Facebook page and YouTube channel. This has been a double take production for Football Queensland. I've been Simon Smale. Thank you very much. Enjoy your Sunday football and have a good evening.